Hey everyone, Rhythm Gaming here with
Crime 14. Hello.
And Murple the Purple in 95. Hello.
and we are the We Do Podcast. We're here to talk to you about Resident Evil 9 Requiem on the Switch 2, because that's the only version that matters. Don't let the no, I can't get it.
It is the highest rated version according to Metacritic.
Yeah, that's the only version that got a special controller.
That is
Which
nice.
sucks. I want
It feels so good. No, I won't pet the controller the whole review. You have my word on that.
Liar.
He's on to me, chat. But anyhow, so we're here to talk Resident Evil 9. We're going to start off with no spoilers and just our general thoughts, what we thought when we first saw the game. When I first saw this, it was like, okay, has my interest, and then there was the big reveal of this is coming Switch 2, day and date, which was like, holy crap. Because usually
you just had to buy it on Switch 2, right?
well, then I was like, okay, we'll make the goal for the Switch 2 version. Didn't think anything of it. That was gonna, but I should learn from my audience then, my community at this point, especially when I set a goal through Streamloots.
It's going to get met.
It's gonna get met. If it's badly enough where people think I can get tortured, it'll get met. But you know what? I'll just say quickly, playing the game on the Switch 2, it ran well. This was, you are compromised in some graphical experience, but overall the performance, it was smooth, it was steady, and it was like, okay, this impressed me. I haven't played as much on handheld, but I have played a bit in handheld, and it was good.
Nice. When I first saw the game, it was during when it was first revealed at Summer Games Fest, and everyone was wondering, it's like, oh, it looks, they thought that they're getting teased about, are they going to show a trailer for the new Resident Evil, especially when they had the actress who played Lady Dimitrescu there. And then when I saw it, I'm like, all right, this is interesting. And then more and more info came out about it, especially the big reveal that not only is it with a new character, Grace, it has Leon in it. So it's another dual protagonist kind of situation going on. I'm like, all right, now I'm really interested. And that it takes place, further on after RE6. And I'm like, all right, this sounds good. And we're also going back to the ruins of Raccoon City. So I was very curious what that was going to be like. And yeah, then the game came out. I bought it on PC, and so far, I mean, I beat it, and it was good. I really enjoyed what it was going for, and it ran. It was a good PC port, minus a few like frame rate issues here and there in a certain part of the game, but it wasn't enough to distract me. But overall, it does play well, and it was a good port. I was happy with it.
I know nothing about Resident Evil. This is my very first Resident Evil game, so I knew nothing. I didn't even know anything about this game. Never heard of it. Till my friends like, "Hey, they're making a new Resident Evil game." And I was like, "Cool." And when I seen more of it, I was like, "Okay, this is cool." It's cool that they're bringing back Leon. Know nothing about him, but I liked it. Good experience into the franchise, I must say.
Right on. Okay, anybody got any other thoughts we say before we get into spoilers?
Definitely worth playing. Certain things I did like about it more than the others, and some I didn't, but definitely worth playing. But do be careful on going online, because even now people are spoiling it.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes out. That's all I'll say. But also, it's like, yeah, if you're a Resident Evil fan, definitely I'd say pick it up. It's worth it.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh yeah, if you're a Resident Evil fan, I can easily recommend it. And from what I've heard, pretty much all the versions on all the platforms are most really well between the PlayStation, Switch 2, and PC. And I've heard good things on the Xbox, especially if you're doing on the Series X version. I haven't heard as much on the Series S. But I imagine if they can get it working on the Switch 2, you can get it working on the Series S.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. You know what? Just spoilers here. Leon kills Dumbledore.
No. Damn it.
Now this here, I liked. This was something that I liked. You've got the upgrade in the selling mechanic thing. You don't get access to it right at the beginning of the game. They throw it much later in the game for Leon. And it's kind of nice that you just have mechanics that are coming in later in the game. The whole buying, upgrading your weapons and stuff like that. And I feel they did such a good job of going between the differences between Leon and Grace. So that way, you know the differences, you can feel it, and it's kind of nice not, oh, I beat the game as Leon, now I gotta go load up Grace's story. That they did it, that your inner slight, you're playing them both in one playthrough, and just every so often you're switching between them.
Yeah, same here. At first it was weird, I'll be honest, when they did the initial switch, because it did sound, I was under the impression it was going to be half one game or half the other, or as some of my friends would say, it'd be like the old games where you choose who you play as, and all my friends literally thought, oh, okay, so Grace and Leon are in it, I'll just play as Leon. It's like, nope, Grace is part of the game, and you have to play as her, and you switch between both of them depending on certain parts in the story. And I did like it though, because you got a very different experience every time when you play them, as to where Grace is like RE7 in the classic survival horror trend, as of which Leon is like RE4 Leon. And it's just like he's pure catharsis, because now you can fight every enemy. Now you don't have to worry about getting scared or ammo, really. It's just now it's all about how well you handle yourself. And so I think they balance it way better than most of the other games, especially the action era games like 4, 5, and 6. I thought this one did it very well in that regard.
I never played any game that I should say the only game I ever played that had like you're going back and forth between characters is again The Witcher 3. But not to this extent, and I kind of enjoy it where like they're all going through the same adventure, just one might be slightly ahead of the other in versus to like where they are. I do like it so much. Grace, oh my god, her whenever I got to her, I was scared shitless all the time. Then Leon was like, woohoo! Let's blow people up.
Well, that was something great, like a great thing to make them different is like Grace, you have the whole you're scared because of some of the stuff that's going on and how Grace reacts. She like in some of those situations she stumbles with her running and stuff like that, and the sounds and stuff that she's making. It really helps with the immersion, which is something I'll be honest, Resident Evil hasn't had in a while, if you don't count remakes.
Yeah.
Like 8, I was not immersed in 8. I had the immersion in 7, especially early on, and then especially with certain events that happened to Ethan early in the first half hour or so. You feel for that man.
Yeah, you really do.
You
I mean, I feel for him in both games, but Village had a few share of flaws. I still enjoy that game, but it definitely in parts could have been way better for what it's worth. But it is also just genuinely nice to play the game with the familiar characters, and we actually get to see what they're doing outside of remakes. At least with Leon, we still don't know about the others yet that we know of.
Yeah.
But still. But I will say also, when regards to the Switch, when you do switches them, it's like there is a good period of time where you're getting that 1 or 2 dedicated sections where you only play as Grace or only play as Leon. And at first I was worried about pacing, and at least in Leon's case, he had that moment, especially when you're in Raccoon City, when you do inevitably go there, and you have a lot that you have to kind of deal with first, even until you inevitably get to the big, money hype moment, which is going back to the RPD. Like there's a lot of game there still. Admittedly, yeah, it kind of dragged at points, but I personally, at least on the first playthrough, I thought I was still having fun going through there. I thought, especially in these modern RE games, because the free remake really they shot themselves in the foot with the free remake, with not giving you a fully decent way to explore Raccoon City as opposed to how the original game did it. It's like this was a good chance, even though it's a ruined Raccoon City. It was nice to see different parts of it that we really couldn't have seen, unfortunately, because of how the RE3 remake handled it. So it's not too bad, but overall though, I still think it worked out nonetheless though. And it's like now playing this, I don't think I can go back to the other way they did it, with like how they did the separate campaigns, especially if the rumor I'm hearing around is there's a Code Veronica remake where that game they did the split protagonist, kind of like what they did with in this one. So it's a good test, I'd say, to see how well an inevitable Code Veronica remake could turn out.
Yeah, I do like how this is split. Like you're playing, like you were saying, like the pacing. I was a little bit worried about that too. So I'm like, okay, how can they make this work without stretching out one person and making like stretching out Leon especially, and then you have Grace as like a little snippet. But they did pretty well. Other than that, like I don't know how any of the other games did it because again, very first Resident Evil game.
Some of them did it with like you play as different. You pick the game and you pick the character you want to play at the start. At least with two, you definitely got a different experience. With one, it was more like you did get that at points, but it was also like each character played differently. And three, you just to a degree, yeah, three kind of did what this one did, where you mostly are playing Jill and then you play someone else down the road. I won't spoil because you probably will play it.
Knowing you'll make me.
Oh yes, we'll make
Yeah.
you. Don't worry. That's coming in the future.
Yeah, you have to play it now.
Yeah. And I don't do well with horror games either, so this wasn't too scary to the point I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to play this no more. But it was just scary enough that I'm like, okay, this is not bad horror. Especially if you watch my stream of it, I got scared of a lamp.
You might see that lamp.
It is easy to have these things when you're fully immersed, get scared easily. And I do like that they did have, for winking it on to fans here, you have your different difficulties. You have the standard difficulty, but you can pick it of two different options. You can go modern, where you don't have the ink ribbons. You want to go back to true classic fashion, have the ink ribbon mechanic, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'll say though is when you're playing as Leon, he still only has checkpoints and like normal save points. I don't believe when you play in classic that he has that anymore. He doesn't like make ink ribbons, but I still thought it was pretty cool. They brought that back and they made that a mechanic you have to worry about, especially when playing as Grace.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the lamp.
This was the part where I got scared shitless.
Things happen. I do like that both have the crafting mechanic. They took basically the crafting mechanic from 7, did some new things with it. And it's nice that I don't have to, you can just craft on the fly. You don't have to go to any thing. So it's just pull up their inventory menu and you can craft. And the nice thing is, if there are certain items you're wanting to craft, you can break down certain items you have, like the lockpicks, down to scrap, so you can use it if you're running low on ammo. There's nothing you can lockpick in the immediate area. You can take it so you can get some handgun ammo, or whatever you need, which is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're playing as Grace and everything. That's definitely something to keep in mind, because her whole but of like collecting things and everything.
Oh, there we go.
It just went wonky with you
Yeah,
there.
that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But it's like I was just saying with the crafting stuff, it's like, yeah, because that's a core mechanic of Grace's gameplay where she collects blood throughout the game, and we have to collect that and other stuff along the way to craft certain things. As well as a weird kind of stealth kill mechanic, which they also brought this back from another similar mechanic from RE1 remake with the Crimson Heads. Now we have the Blister Heads, where if you don't blow their head off, they will come back at one point, especially when you're going back through certain areas as Leon. He inevitably has to deal with them down the road. So that was cool too. And it's just like, but what you can also like just use that sparingly, just like how you had to kind of pick and choose in the RE1 remake to which enemies you feel is necessary to destroy. I definitely liked that. You know, it was a cool way to bring that back. That kind of mechanic, use that mechanic again from an older game. But well, I will say though, the only thing I personally did not like though about the game, despite the pacing, I didn't like the story. I didn't like the story, at least when we got the answers, because there's a lot they don't show in the trailers, which I was kind of glad about because of obvious reasons. But especially if you were hearing about the leaks going around at the time of like, okay, what is the story actually about? I won't lie to you, I wasn't a big fan of some of it. And then inevitably when you get to the RPD in Raccoon City, it's like they just went full blown fan service, essentially. Because almost outside of a few cases, almost every boss they find a way to bring back from a classic game, such as you fight the Super Tyrant or Mr. X, as everyone calls him. He comes back at one point. You fight the Plant 43 from the Resident Evil 1, if I remember. I was confused. I confuse it with RE2 because RE2 you had the plant monsters to deal with. And then the one I hated, they brought the giant spider back.
Yeah, I hated that one too.
Yeah, he was creepy.
I hate it.
He was creepy, and I hated it. But yeah, don't bring it back for an RE1 remake, which is the rumor going around. But and then the final boss, which was weirdly enough, it was a retread of the final boss from RE3 remake, and I was just like, that was a weird choice to bring back, but I guess why not? I suppose. But they're still fun to fight. It's just they're just kind of like, oh, okay, these are back, and then the inevitable villain reveal as to who he is, which I don't know how to feel about him personally, but I guess we'll see how that goes still with Xeno.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That doesn't feel to me wrapped up well enough, and we know there's DLC coming for the game.
Yeah.
So they're going to do stuff with it in the DLC. I'll agree with you. The story was not as strong as I want to, but that's the thing. RE games, yes, they have good story moments, but if you sit there and think about the plots a lot of the time, I think you're going to be disappointed in some of them and be like, okay, this is just cheesy. This is not too deep.
Even the best RE games, like when you see their full stories come to fruition, it's like some of them are better, some of them not so much. But I'll say at least this one had a good setup to it. I didn't mind that, but the actual payoff, which I was glad they didn't show it in the trailers, but wow, they really did not. they really hit everything they could, which was pretty good to me.
Yeah, even I found going to the end of the story, I'm like, okay, yeah, a lot of questions are left unanswered. I don't know if they did that purposely because they're planning on making a DLC, or if they done it purposely for inevitably like when they continue on Resident Evil to make like 10. Will those questions that's left unanswered follow off into the other game? I don't know, but I even kind of hated that about the story. I'm like, okay, cool, but I want to know these answers, type of
Mhm.
thing. So
Yeah,
hopefully they answer them
especially
and we'll see.
especially with how this game kind of wraps up. It's like, yeah, I feel like they're leaving a lot open for what's
Hmm.
to come next, but I'm still curious where it's gonna go because even though the story's not the greatest thing in the world, it's like I feel like they still have good characters. They still have a great gameplay dynamic going on with the horror and now the action, which I'm fine with now. So I feel like that this series still has staying power and what it can and can't do. I think I would like to see another one that tries to be like 9 a little bit, but more focused on like one aspect more than the other. I'm curious how if they could do that again, but we shall see. But nonetheless, though, I am curious about what's next for the franchise, especially with the rumors going around about a RE or an RE Code Veronica remake, an RE0 remake, and apparently an RE1 remake.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind it because especially with this game, I could see them basically remaking all the games now, especially 5 and 6, because especially when you get to the RPD, they mostly are taking from the member berry moments, if you want to call
Yeah.
them that.
I was about
They
to say,
Yeah, the member berry moments, like when they're there, especially the layout to RPD, it's like this is more like this is more of an RE2 remake. That's where they're taking the design and as well as like the callbacks from not so much the original games, especially a
Mhm.
part where you go to the gun shop and they reference the scene in the remake about what happened at that gun shop, not so much the original game that happened there.
Mm.
So, and I didn't mind it too much, but it does feel like there's a lot that's going to change and be different now, especially with some of the questions that they inevitably answer as you keep playing the game. Especially with a certain character that I'm 50-50 on, but on how well that's going to go, especially when you take 5 and 6 into account. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
all a matter of waiting, though, I'd say, in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but this game has me, because it was a good experience and something I really enjoyed. It gives me hope for the franchise and has me excited to see what's coming next. Because yeah, we know the remakes are coming. They're gonna keep making the remakes. The remakes are selling well. The remakes are reviewing well. So you know what? Why would they stop at this point? And it's like, hey, yeah, I would love for them to do a one remake in the style of RE2 remake, stuff like that. I'm all for that. And you know what? If you can make some change, do some changes, good changes for Code Veronica and Zero, make them. Like you'll have people squawk, but you know what? When it's a more better version of the game and a version more people are willing to go play and actually finish, nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that. Oh, good old chainsaw there.
Yeah, good old chainsaw Perry. Never gets old.
Oh yeah, and I do like that you can actually get the chainsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like especially Leon's gameplay definitely. If you played RE4 remake, it's just as good. And now he has a lot more interactivity with things you can find and weapons that some of the enemies have. Which now looking back though, it's like kind of wish that was in RE4 remake now.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's so cool. But I'm finding that it's here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like me laughing like a maniac when I got the chainsaw because I was so happy. It's like, ah!
Yeah,
oh
that's
yeah.
all. That's all of us. Don't you worry about
Yeah,
that.
well, that's the thing. Like once you play 4 remake, whenever you hear the chainsaw guys or the chainsaw sisters, that was it. And 4, you're like, okay, you know what? You got to be to be ready and get your shots off quick and make your shots count. But it always sucked that the chainsaw would just be there on the ground. Why can't I pick it up? Why can't I use it? And it's nice that you do have like these, like they'll drop like axes and other weapons, and you can use them and throw them and stuff like that. So it's nice giving you more options. So it's not always, yeah, the games are survival horror, and it's like you want to play the, can I use all my ammo? Should I use all my ammo? How much do I need? They give you a lot of options. So if you're smart with how you do your attacks and who you take care of first and how you go into your combat situations, you can be well rewarded with options. So you're saving more bullets, taking less damage and stuff like that, which is so nice. And then because of how the game plays, you can play this multitude of ways. So that way, multiple playthroughs do feel unique, do feel fun. And once you know the layout of the game, you know how to do it much quicker, get through this, get through that, and then they do some stuff where they change certain stuff from your first playthrough. So it's not just, oh, this is it. I know there's 2 enemies in here, this. They change some stuff up to make it different so it feels more fresh, which is a nice change and gives it more replayability.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you guys could though, give this game a score, what would you give it a score, and where would this rank in all your in your favorite RE games? And well, yeah, I think you too, Merple. Even though it's your first one you've properly played.
Oh yeah. I'll
You
let
know-
Carly go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna go with a 9 out of 10 on it. Like I seriously, not just because it's 9, it fits easy that way kind of thing. It's just because it's been a long time since I've played a new Resident Evil game where I was having so much fun with this game, and every time I'm putting the thing down, being like, I want to keep playing, but I'm an adult. I need to get sleep and for all the other stuff going in life. So it just had me keep me coming back to it and keep wanting to play more of it. And even when I was done, I was like, okay, though I beat the game, I'm still not done. I'm going to go back to it, play more, because I was exclusively playing this docked. And then once I beat the game, played a little bit in handheld mode, tested out in handheld mode. As for where it would be in my top 5. Like it would still go like 4 is I feel the pinnacle of the series. 4, and then like 2, you're going classic. 2 would be second for me, and then I would probably put the remakes of 2 and 4 right there, or third and fourth, and then put 9 at 5th. Like I liked 7 a lot. 7 was a really fun game, but I feel this was much more stronger, a much more unique premise, and with how you've got the different gameplay. But I will give some of the unique stuff that 7 did have, and 7 had some good ideas, but I feel just some of it wasn't as strong.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. For me, I think I'm sitting on a good 8.5 out of 10. Mainly because the story stuff did kind of, the more I thought on it, I wasn't really a fan of it because it just leaves so many questions more than answers. And the villain, not so much Gideon, the newest one here. I wish he had more screen time, but the actual real villain, which is Zeno, which yeah, he's a clone of Wesker. It's spoilers, so there you go. He was just fine. I see him more as like they're gonna set him up down both in the inevitable remakes as well as the 10th game. I'm pretty sure we've not seen the last of him, even though what happens to him. But I don't think that's the last we're seeing of him.
Oh no, he'll be in the DLC.
Yeah, fair, probably will. Yeah. Nonetheless, though, I say 8.5 mainly because yeah, the gameplay and everything else it does is really strong. Even though the story I wish was a little bit better, but overall for me in terms of ranking, this is in my top 5 favorite Resident Evil games. Number 1, including both the remake and the original, is number 2. Because that one I really liked the remake of that game because I played the original for the first time 2 days before the remake came out, and I was just like, wow, this is really good. I like I like this a lot. And even though I had to adjust and learn a lot, I really liked, but I grew to really like the original too. And then the remake, I like the remake just as much. I do prefer it over the original, mainly for just how it played. Like I prefer the over the shoulder, not so much the fixed camera angle stuff, but I appreciate the original too still. And for both for original and remake, I have tied for number 2 because just both games I find to be really fun. 4 didn't need a remake, but I liked what they gave us ultimately, especially the changes that they made with not only the base game but the Separate Ways campaign. I liked that alone was way better than how they did it in the original. So, and then the third one would probably still the original Resident Evil, because I do think that's still a really good game, especially the remake of it is really good. And below that for 4 would be Requiem, and then 5 would be 7. Just because, yeah, I really enjoyed this that much that yeah, it's there. And 7 was definitely the game that got me fully to really playing the series and looking forward to the remakes of 2, 3, then Village, then 4, and now this one. So, and I didn't even think I would like 7 as much, so that's why I put it so strongly at number 5.
Fair enough. Alrighty, Merple, what's
For
your
me,
rating?
I
What's your
would
rating?
probably also give it, I want to say a 9. Like I can't rank it on based on any other Resident Evil games because I haven't played any. I have watched people play games, but I haven't like the other Resident Evil games, but I haven't played them myself. But yeah, I love the game.
Yet
I
you
love the
haven't.
gameplay. I love the gameplay of it. I thought it was really unique in the sense of, again, I haven't played very many games that was going back and forth, back and forth. To me, I liked all the boss fights except for one because I hate spiders.
Yeah.
But I do like how each and every boss felt unique in a sense, at least for me. Like Fry was saying earlier, like all of them are kind of like rehashes of.
And it's still good, but
Yeah, they're
they
still
are.
good, even though they're rehashes. Like I got none of the references that they were making in the game. It was cool that they were there, but you know, I like the characters that they all introduced. They all felt real to me. Like they didn't feel fake. They felt real. The atmosphere is terrifying, so I love the atmosphere too. The only thing that would notch it down for me would be the story. Like on my stream, I said it was a 10 out of 10 for me, but when I actually like sat back and start thinking, I'm like, nah, it's actually more of a 9 for me because I don't like how they went with some of the story elements. Like left a lot of the questions you wanted answered just unanswered, and how they dealt with Xeno, that was dumb. I hated it. Same thing with Gideon. I didn't like how they handled Gideon that much either. I thought that was
I'll take what they did with Gideon over what they did with Xeno.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't like how they handled those two. They felt kind of both underwhelming to me. But yeah, definitely a 9 out of 10. Other than if you minus that, then it was a 9 out of 10 for me. I struggled to put this game down because it was just that good. I'm definitely replaying it because it's been a while since I was immersed in any games. My last one that I was immersed in was, again, The Witcher 3 for me. Like, as much as I love Digimon, I was not immersed in that one.
But you liked it though, obviously.
But I did like it enough to go back and play and be like, oh, I'm having fun. This one was like, no, I struggled to put it down. It's like, I have to put this down. I have to go to bed. I have work. I have to clean all this stuff. But yeah, definitely 9 out of 10. Again,
Mm.
like Burley said, not because it's the ninth game. Or Resident Evil, technically Resident Evil 9. I can't say it's the ninth game.
Yeah. But does this make you want to go back and play through the other games?
Yes.
Like not so much the originals, but you can't. I think you should still just to see what it was like. But does it make you want to still try the other games in the series, just to
Yes.
see? It's like, okay, this is what the series is about, and this is what it was going for, especially with the callbacks that they had in Requiem.
I definitely want to play 2. I want to play the original and the remake of both, because where they made so many references. From what I've been told, they made a lot of references to 2, especially when you got to Raccoon City. I still want to play 3. Biohazard's on my list, as well as Villages on my list to play. Really, I just want to play them all. Because I'm like, okay, this is what the Resident Evil series is about. Okay. Still don't like horror, but I don't care. I still suck at shooting, but I don't care.
This is the good horror, don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't go over the top, in my opinion, especially in this one. I can't say.
Oh, well, you know what? They go over top in other ways for other Resident Evil games, but that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Get the 5 and 6, and you'll know.
No.
Then you get to watch me run and cry like a baby. And I most likely will also stream those.
You heard it here first, chat.
I have no choice. I had a few of my friends be like, "Yeah, you're streaming this once you get the game." Okay, I guess I will.
Alrighty, I say here's probably a good spot to wrap it up. We thank you all for watching the video. Please, we'd love for you to leave some comments. We'd love to hear from you. What'd you think of the game? Did you play the game? Are you going to play the game? All that kind of stuff. And please hit the thumbs up on it, the like button. It really does help the video grow out there. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It helps us. Click that notification bell. That way you get notified when the next video drops. Alrighty. The We Do Podcast. We'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.